Gentlemen, Gary Moore.
Thanks very much. Thank you, Johnny. Hey, this is a good audience, Johnny. What'd you do? Is there something one you had left over from Gleason?
Yes. Right.
Hey, very good. Welcome to our show. Our first guest today is a prize winner in a most unusual contest. And we'll hear more about it as soon as our panel gets settled here on To Tell the Truth.
Tom Colston. Peggy Cass. Larry Blyden. And Kitty Carlisle.
If I'm not mistaken, I think just about every one of our panelists is from a city. We don't have any country people amongst us, do we?
No.
Oh, I've lived on farms and country places.
Have you?
Yeah.
Well, then maybe your ear will be more acute than those of the rest of us. Listen to this sound and tell me what sound you think it is.
A dog's hurt.
No. It's either a guinea hen or a peacock.
Guinea hen or a peacock, you say? All right, I'll tell you, that is the mating call of a wild turkey.
I'm coming right away.
Which helps to explain why there are so few wild turkeys. The man who is making that call won this. Look, for doing that, he got this. He won, but got it backwards. There it is. He won that whole trophy. And let us meet that gentleman at this moment. And here we go.
If he's Italian, I was right.
Number one, what is your name, please?
My name is Harold Eubanks.
Number two.
My name is Harold Eubanks.
Number three.
My name is Harold Eubanks.
Well, they all claim to be Harold Eubanks. Let's listen to the story and make up our minds. It says, I, Harold Eubanks, can yelp like a turkey, and I've got a trophy to prove it. I am the first place winner of the annual turkey calling contest. Using my trusty turkey caller, I lured the wary gobblers by convincing them that I was a loving hen giving a mating call. It took many years of practice before I acquired sufficient skill to outcall the 24 other turkey calling contestants. In fact, my wife was so tired of hearing me practice that when I told her that I intended to keep practicing my calls in the car on the way to the contest, she decided to stay home. Naturally, my turkey calling is just a hobby. In my work, I deal with a different kind of flock. I am a Baptist minister. Signed, Reverend Harold Eubanks. And let's start the questioning with a gentleman whose dulcet tones... Oh, no, we got a commercial first. We do have to pay bills from time to time. Go.
My granddaughter follows my every move. But the other day when I set out to give her a lesson, it turned out I was the one with something to learn about my dentures. So I decided to try Fix It and Fresh. It forms a thin yet strong seal for a more secure fit and a fresh feeling. You know, you're never too old to learn something new. Fix It and Fresh and forget it.
They taught us how to love. They taught us how to live. And now they're back. Monster Ballads. 35 powerful hits on 2 CDs and 2 cassettes. It's awesome! Whitesnake. Mr. Big. Europe. Cinderella. The huge hits on My Monster Ballads will take you higher. Winger. Firehouse. No one knows more about passion than the legendary artists of Monster Ballads.
When I see you smile, love is on the way.
This 35-track collection is not sold in stores. Rush delivery available. Every bad boy has a soft side. Get Monster Ballads. To order, call the number on your screen. 2 CDs, $26.99. 2 cassettes, $21.99. Do it now.
Hard to believe a Baptist minister would lie to you, but one of these three and only one is Reverend Harold Eubanks, trophy-winning turkey caller. And let's start with Larry Blyden.
Thank you, Gary. Number one, how did you start calling turkeys?
Well, I always went hunting with my Uncle Walter, and he's pretty good.
Uncle Walter is?
Yeah, and I always admired him, so I thought I'd try it too.
Okay.
He got lots of turkeys, and I figured I could too.
Okay, number two, how long have you been calling these turkeys?
40 years.
Number three, how'd you learn to do it? Did you live near them?
Yes, they were turkeys in my area, and just an old turkey hunter sort of taught me how.
Oh. Okay, number one, do you do other turkey calls besides the mating call?
No.
Okay, number two, what other calls are there?
Of turkeys?
Yeah.
None.
That's it, huh? Come play with me and then it's all over. Uh-huh. No much obliged, and I'll see you around the coop. Nothing. Just, well, okay.
Very little talking.
Number one, who's...
So shocking.
It's no fun being a turkey. Let's go to
Number three, don't you think it's sort of mean for a Baptist minister to call a turkey with a mating call and then shoot him?
I would think so.
But you do it anyway.
Yes, ma'am.
And number two, what are those brushes you're wearing in your pockets?
These are a part of the wild turkey. It comes from his chest, and it's called a beard.
Oh, I see. Number one, what is the little figure at the bottom of the trophy? There's a turkey on top, and there's a little figure underneath at the base of it. What is that? Right there. What you got your finger on it?
Oh, all the way, you mean down at the bottom here?
What is that?
Gentlemen, can you see that? There seems to be, what is it, a turkey poised on a globe or
It's just a bird. I always assumed it was an eagle. I don't know.
Number one, where do you live? Where do you have your ministry?
I have my ministry in Chesapeake, Virginia. I work for Providence Baptist, and I'm assistant minister with youth activities.
Thank you. Number two, where did you go to seminary?
Southeastern Seminary at Wake Forest.
And number three, does the turkey calling...
And Kitty, we're going to cut you off. We're going to go to town.
That was number three. What does a turkey do when you call it?
Well, you hope he's going to come to you.
Does he just walk in?
Walk or fly.
Yeah, that's great. All right. Number two, is that turkey caller a device? Do you use anything along with your voice?
Oh, yes, you don't really use your voice, so you can use your voice to make a male sound, but it would be very difficult to make the female sound or
what is
lure.
What is the device, number two?
Well, it can be different things, but very simply, it's a rubber diaphragm over which the air passes over a sound chamber.
I see. Thank you.
It could be done with the hands with the leaf, really.
Thank you. Number one, what?
Thank you, and I take Peggy.
Thank you. And number two, how could you tell who won the contest? Did more turkeys show up at your feet than at the other folks?
Well, it pretty much amounts to that, except that in contests there are no true turkeys involved. There are only turkey hunters who are judges.
I see. Number three, what is total immersion? Number three?
That's putting someone all the way on the water.
Thank you. Number one, does wild turkey taste good?
Yes.
It does.
I think so, yeah.
Well, I don't. Number two, where was the contest?
Well, this particular one was in Stony Mountain, North Carolina.
Sounds like a good place. Number
Outside of
one,
Charlotte.
I've always wanted to know the difference. What's the difference between a Baptist and an Anabaptist?
Well, the Anabaptists are the predecessors of the Baptists.
Oh.
And they were called Anabaptists because they were against infant baptism. And you had to be baptized again.
There goes the ding-dong, and we have decisions to make. We must mark our ballots for number one, or for number two,
Wish I hadn't asked that question.
or for number
I do
three.
too.
It's $50 down for each wrong vote, $500 if all the votes are wrong, and Larry Blyden commences.
Well, not being really terribly literate on the subject of turkeys, I voted for number two because he just looks like a turkey caller to me, and he told us all about that diaphragm and all that business. I thought that was impressive.
All righty, you got a two showing, and we're going to go to Kitty.
Well, I wish Peggy hadn't asked that question about the Anabaptist because
throw you off?
I was totally convinced it was number three. But I voted for number three anyway. Yesterday I got mixed up, and now I'm mixed up all the
We just, excuse me.
Thank you.
Let's hear it for Gary.
Nothing
Moore.
if not tidy. I do good work. I do marvelous work. Let's go down to Tom.
You're also going to join a union you weren't previously a member of. I voted for number two because anybody who went to the trouble of learning that much about turkey calling deserves to get a vote, whether he is the real one or not.
Fair enough. A pair of twos and a three and a Peggy Cass coming up, looking very puzzled.
Well, the other two are all boned up on Baptists.
They sure were.
But I really thought it was number three. Number one, I wish I hadn't answered that question because you confused me. But I voted for number three. I don't know anything about Baptists
split
myself.
Between twos and threes, and the votes are in, and will the real Reverend Eubanks please stand up? Yeah. Thank you, Reverend Eubanks. Let's check out with number one. Number one, sir, I thought you were splendid. What is your real name? What do you do?
My name is Louis Love, and I make crepes for exclusive Manhattan caterer.
Ah, very nice. And number two, sir, with the two big wrong votes, what is your real name? What do you do?
My real name is Peter Hodgson, and I make silly putty.
What a marvelous way to make a living.
I love silly putty,
It's just
too.
great.
It's kind of the same occupation we're in, only we call it something else. Reverend Eubanks, we heard just a tiny sample of your turkey calling earlier on in the program. Now, would you show us the device that you use? Is it homemade?
It's a piece of plastic pipe, regular water pipe, about 1.5 inches in diameter with a piece of balloon stretched over it, affixed with a rubber band.
Uh-huh. You mean like a regular kid's balloon?
That's right.
And which end do you blow in?
You just kind of breathe across it.
You give a whack at it.
I'll give a cluck at the hen.
Everybody
makes.
hold on to your gobbler now. We don't want any problems here.
And then I'll yelp like the hen.
Yeah. That was very good. A turkey sandwich I had here jumped right out of my lunchbox.
We got a couple of shows on Broadway that just responded to that.
Thank you, Reverend Eubanks and Imposters, for being here with us on To Tell the Truth. It was just that. Well, now we got one here that's a real grabber. I have never met anybody in this particular category. Our next guest actually lived in an Arabian harem.
Oh, wow.
And we will meet her in a moment if she has survived.
Glad it wasn't a hymn.
Tonight, I celebrate my love.
An intimate song is a celebration of love.
When I need you.
Now get Touched by Love, a new 36-song collection of the most popular soft rock hits.
Darling, if you want me to be closer to you, get closer to me. I love you. I honestly love you. I go crazy when I look in your
You'll feel the magic of love in every song.
Sometimes when we touch, the honesty's too much. And I would give anything I own. Give up my life, my heart, my home. You are so beautiful.
Touched by Love brings you 36 of the most romantic songs of our time.
Turn the other way, baby. I'd love you to want me the way that I want you. But there's a warm wind blowing the stars around, and I'd really love to see you tonight. Even the nights are better.
Touched by Love is not sold in stores, so order now.
And I will love you so always. Just you.
Call this toll-free number now for Touched by Love. 2 cassettes, $19.98. 2 CDs, $26.98. Plus $4.95 shipping. Call now.
And now let's meet a former member of a harem.
Number one, what is your name, please?
My name is Marianne Aliradza.
Number two.
My name is Marianne Alareza.
Number three.
My name is Marianne Alireza.
All right, panel, here is Marianne Alaretza's story. Listen to it. It goes like this. I, Marianne Alaretza, spent 13 years in a harem. I married a member of a prominent Arabian family. In addition to my husband, the harem housed my mother-in-law, 2 sisters-in-law, and 11 children. Veiled and cloaked like a biblical figure, I enjoyed almost no social life. Life for me existed entirely within the harem. Men outside the family could not penetrate. I was never seen in public without a veil. It was a world of luxury without medicine, of numberless servants but no equipment, of nothing to do and nowhere to go. A centuries-old way of life that I learned, accepted, and, believe it or not, grew to love. I tell the story of my life in a harem, including my unexpected divorce and my hair-raising escape with my 5 children, in a new book entitled At the Drop of a Veil. Signed, Marianne Alaretza. And let's start with the harem scarum piggy cats.
Thank you. Number one, what nationality were you when you got married?
American.
And number two, what nationality?
American.
Oh, and I suppose you were too, number three, right?
American.
Thank you. Well, number one, how did you meet your husband?
At school, at college in California.
Thank you. And number three, you were the only wife in the harem, right?
Yes, while I was there.
And were there any other girls around, like friends, or just you were the...
Sisters-in-law, family only.
Oh, well, then that's pretty good. I mean, I always thought they had lots of other girls around, which would make me furious. Number two, was your husband a sheikh or the son of a sheikh or what?
He was a sheik.
Oh, well, I always thought they said sheikh, sorry. And number three, why were you unexpectedly divorced?
Well, I didn't find out later, but until later, but I was divorced because there was another woman involved.
Hey, well, number one, were you living at the harem at the time that he divorced you?
Yes.
Well, how much later? Did he just say, I divorce you, I divorce you, I divorce you?
No, he only said it once.
Well, I don't think it's legal. I think they have to say it 3 times.
And then it can't
That's
be during
marvelous.
the sandstorm.
Only have to say it once. Let's go to Larry.
The sister-in-laws who were there, were they, number one, were they the sisters-in-law of his brother? Or were they his sisters, or what?
They were his sisters-in-law.
Okay, number two, how many women were there altogether in the harem?
Probably 15.
Okay, number 3, what is the real definition of harem?
The real definition of harem, it means the women of a family.
Okay, number 1, how are Arabs divorced? How do you do that?
It has to be in the presence of witnesses, or it can be with just one other countryman of his, and he only has to say it once.
Okay, number 2, he gets to divorce you, but you don't get to divorce him. Is that the way that works?
At the present time, that's the way it is.
You say at the present time. Is there a woman's lib movement
He
there? or
is
what?
divorced, but I am not.
Wait a minute, to say again? He is divorced, but you are not.
Because we were married in California.
I think.
Oh, that's tough picking if it's true. Well, I don't know which one it is, so let's go to Kitty.
Well, number 3, how did you escape?
Well, actually, when the divorce happened, I happened to be in the United States, so I didn't have to escape, really.
Oh, well, it said here there was a hair-raising story about the escape.
Yes. You speaking about the divorce or the escape itself?
It says here
Well, I
the
was in
escape.
Europe at the time then. Yes, that's correct. I was in Europe, and I had to escape from there to save my children.
Number 2, why did you have to escape from your... Where did you live, by the way? Number 2.
We lived in Arabia.
Where in Arabia?
In Media, most of the time.
And number 2, why did you say sheik instead of sheikh?
Because I'm American, I say she.
I see. And number 1, what is a zanana?
I have no idea.
Do you know number 2?
A zanana? Something you wear on your head.
And number 3, tell me, why was there no medicine?
Well, because I went there, there is now, conditions have much improved as far as that. When I first went, however, we had no medical facilities.
And number 2, did you never went out?
And from Kitty, we're going to go on down to Tom Poston.
Number 2, let me ask you, why were there no services beyond the servants?
Well, when you live in a harem, you have your own servants.
But it says without services or something like that. Luxury without medicine, or numerous servants but no equipment. Oh, excuse me, equipment is what I mean. What equipment did you lack that you thought you might like to have?
Well, we didn't have hair dryers. We didn't have, we did everything mostly like they've done it for millions of years.
But number 1, you did get to love it, I see.
Yes, I did.
And were you désolé when you had to leave? Also number 1, please.
Yes, I was very upset, of course.
Number 2, tell us about the escape. Where were you when it became necessary to escape?
In Arabia.
Gee, that sounds scary to me.
Well, you may take another glimpse at the 3 while the panel here marks out their ballots. And what do you think at home? Is it a number 1? Or is it a number 2? Or is it a number 3? As usual, we pay $50 for each bad vote. We pay $500 if they're all bad. And as Kitty says, this one's tough.
Oh, very tough.
But without consulting amongst yourselves, you must mark your ballots, and that's just the way it goes. Peggy starts.
Well, yeah, sure, I'm sorry I said shake. I was only trying to make her feel friendly. Number 3 didn't know whether she was in California or Europe. Number 2, I'm not voting for you. I voted for 1.
All right, we got 1 for 1. And Larry?
I voted for number 1. When she said he only said it one time, there was a depth of feeling in that that was very persuasive.
We got a pair of 1s showing. And
Well,
Kitty, you look worried.
well, I wouldn't vote for number 3 because I thought the story was a little mixed up. And number 2 said a zanana is something you wear on your head, and I think it's what a harem is called. It's the rooms of the harem. So I had to vote for number 1.
How do you know that, honey?
We got a limb shaping up here. We got 3 people out on 1 limb. No, Tom.
No,
huh?
I'm sorry, I can't. I'm sawing it off. I voted for number 2, although if he did leave her for another woman, I sure would like to have a look at the other woman.
Well, that's the way we go. The votes are in. Will the real Marianne Alareza please stand up?
Going.
She was when she had to escape.
What's the matter?
Nice going, girls. Very nice indeed. We'll be back to you in a moment, Mrs. Allred. So let's find out about number 1 with 3 big votes there. What is your real name? What do you do?
My name is Lucy Globus. I'm Public Relations Director for Salton Incorporated, who make electric hot tray food warmers.
That's good stuff. And number 2 with 1 wrong vote, what is your real name, please? And what do you do?
My name is Irene Zastro, and I'm an agent for Mutual Benefit Life Insurance.
I think where we got confused on number 3 was, Kitty, you said, where were you at the time of your escape? Now, there were 2 different times. There wasn't a divorce, and then there was an escape, and she was in 2 different places at 2 different times. So this is where I think we got somewhat misunderstood. How many? I had always thought that a harem was a whole bunch of wives.
It can be. In my case, it wasn't, however. It was just our family women. I was the only wife of my husband, and there were the wives of my brothers-in-law.
Whose decision was that there was only 1 wife in that family?
Well, I think it was sort of a mutual understanding that if there were more than 1, I wouldn't be there.
Atta girl. Well, thank you very much for being with us, and thank you, imposters, on behalf of the Tell the Truth. Take care.
If you want love, passion, and romance this Valentine's Day, then don't watch our special Three's a Crowd marathon.
It's going to be one of those days.
Valentine's Dinner for 3, Sunday, February 14th, starting at noon Eastern, then again at 6 p.m. Eastern, only on Game Show Network.
My neighbor works at Post on a cereal we can't get enough of. It's yummy with honey, crunchy with almonds, Post Honey Nut Shredded Wheat.
Roger, we're out again.
Good thing I've got connections.
Designed with floss in mind, the Colgate Total Professional Toothbrush has bristles that clean down and around teeth and along the gum line. Colgate Total. Frequent heartburn. Is it worse at night, especially after dinner?
Mm-hmm.
Have you treated it, but still suffer on 2 or more days a week?
Mm-hmm.
Has your heartburn been a persistent problem for you? Your heartburn may be due to a potentially serious condition called acid reflux disease. Ask your doctor about Prilosec. Just 1 capsule daily can provide 24-hour complete heartburn relief. 24 hours. Ask your doctor for more information about Prilosec and if it's right for you. The most common side effects are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Want 24-hour heartburn relief with 1 daily dose? Ask your doctor about the 24-hour complete heartburn relief of Prilosec.
Like proper diet and exercise, Craftmatic beds help your body feel better for watching TV, reading, sewing, or just putting your feet up and relaxing. You can't beat a Craftmatic adjustable bed. Yet Craftmatic Model 2 beds are inexpensive. Call toll-free to get free information by mail about Craftmatic. Call for this important information now.
Call toll-free 1-800-847-9911.
Game Show Network. Have you played today?
Up next on Game Show Network, play What's My Line, followed by Match Game and Tattletales.
Kitty's getting very upset on behalf of the female turkey. She thinks that there should be some call other than just the mating call. Right?
Oh, it's so sad to be called for something so lovely and then get shot.
Oh, it happens to a lot of people.
Yeah, and first there should at least be one like, you know, do you want to go to the movies tonight or something? You know.
Well, that's what Larry kept saying. A little something, a little hand-holding.
But you know what they say. I don't care what you call me. Just call me.
It's a sad world sometimes, friends. We'll see you tomorrow at Happy Times. Take care.
Transportation and other considerations provided by Chevrolet, featuring the new Vega, the little car that does everything well. With overhead cam engine, front disc brakes, bucket seats, and power ventilation, the new Vega from Chevrolet. Hotel accommodations, courtesy of the luxurious Park Sheraton Hotel, home of the famous Mermaid Room, right in the heart of Manhattan and convenient to everything. Prizes or product mentions were furnished and or paid for by the manufacturers or supplier of the products or services identified on this program. This is Johnny Olson speaking for To Tell the Truth, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.